At the time of this recording, I've been making YouTube videos to help grow my business for the last 5 years. And if I could go back to when I posted my first video and give myself some advice on how to grow my channel and business a lot faster, here's what I would say. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Levi, and for the last few years, I've run the largest real estate channel in Dallas, Texas, and it's helped me scale to 7 figures. And if you're a business owner looking to scale your business, this channel is meant to document everything I've learned over the years with my channel and to show you how YouTube has completely changed my business. All right, so let's get into it with number 1, which is YouTube isn't passive in the beginning. And yes, I know we talk about passive prospecting, but it does take a lot of work, of course, from content that you made a month or even a year or 2 or 3 years ago. So you start to see a compounding effect really kick in, but you really have to earn that, right? I mean, there's no shortcut to the passive part. You get there by putting in the work and ongoing content creation. So, most people think you post a few videos, you sit back and the money kind of starts rolling in. That's not really the case. So, especially in the beginning. Now, in the beginning, YouTube is going to really demand a lot more from you than what you'd probably expect. But you're not really just making videos, you are building a library and you're creating assets that are really going to work for you long after you hit publish. And once you have that content library built up, that's when things start to feel passive. I mean, old videos will keep bringing in views. I mean, leads keep coming in on a regular basis from content that you made a month or even a year or 2 or 3 years ago. So you start to see a compounding effect really kick in, but you really have to earn that, right? I mean, there's no shortcut to the passive part. You get there by putting in the work. All right, number 2 is that all views are not exactly equal. So this is pretty huge. I mean, I've had videos with hundreds of thousands of views on them. They blew up, right? It blew up my subscriber count. I made some good AdSense off of them, but I can't necessarily track a single deal to those videos, but they are broad. They do help kind of grow the channel. But, the point for me has always been about phone calls. It's not necessarily about the views. So whenever I really niche down on my particular topics, especially things that I know people are searching for, then that's usually what gets the phone calls generating. And I can directly tie videos that have had 1,000, 2,000, 3, or even 5,000 views to leading into 5 to 6 figures in commissions through our real estate company. All right, number 3 is you can't really predict which videos will take off. And so I really can't tell you how many times I've been completely wrong about which videos would perform well. I'll spend a day on a video, doing some research, some scripting. I mean, looking at every word, making sure the thumbnail is perfect. I'm convinced this is going to be a massive hit. I post it and then it's kind of like crickets, or it bombs out, or it gets a few hundred or even just a few thousand views. And I'm just like, what happened? Even the team will say, oh my God, this video is amazing. It's going to blow up. And usually those are the ones that don't. And then we have videos that we make that we're kind of like, oh, whatever, it's not perfect. Let's just publish it anyways. And they have absolutely blown up. So, and no matter how much we follow the formula and we even recreate videos that went viral before, we see videos on other channels sometimes and we recreate those. It's interesting. They don't always perform exactly the same, but your job is to really kind of stay in the game long enough for just the wins to stack up. All right, number 4, sometimes you'll pour hours into videos that get barely watched. Kind of like playing off of number 3, but that does hurt, definitely hurts the ego, but you could spend a lot of time, especially maybe one that you work on, to make sure it is absolutely perfect. You really, really put in a ton of work and then it gets 10 views or 20 views or 30 views. And actually some of my videos in the beginning did just that. That can be discouraging. Sometimes that's when you feel like YouTube is not honoring your commitment and your value. And it's like, wait a second. And that's where a lot of people start getting stuck in their own heads and they think about quitting, or even they do quit because they're like, man, I put in all this work, all this energy, all this effort, and it got 10, 20, or 30, or even 100 views. But you think about it, put yourself in a room with that many people. And how many people are you reaching on a daily basis? For instance, in your business. For us, it's in real estate. So you think about it, if you put me in a room with 30 people, that's a pretty good opportunity to speak to 30 people about the product or service that I have to offer. Put me in a room with 100 people, that's a pretty big room. 200 to 500 people, that's a massive room. So don't take even low views for granted though. All right, number 5 is going to be your audience will tell you what your channel is really about. So whenever I started, I had some ideas about where I wanted the channel to go. And I thought maybe I should cover everything, right? Especially when it comes to real estate, market updates, home tours, investments, lifestyle content. I mean, you name it. But I decided to really kind of focus in on what people were searching for. They were looking for communities. They were looking about pros and cons, listicle videos, or top 5 suburbs, top 6 neighborhoods, those types of things. And so I really kind of focused that around search because I knew there was an audience for it. And I knew later I could add things in that might have a broader approach or might get, some more views. I didn't know if that would lead to business. Now, we did a tremendous amount of business. We still do. I'm averaging well over $1 million a year. But I'll give you a prime example, especially whenever I started getting involved in multifamily investment or apartments. I started investing in those complexes, and then I decided, I want to raise money and raise capital around these apartment complexes that I'm partnered up on. And so I did just that. I made videos, YouTube videos about those subjects, and I put them on my basically residential real estate YouTube channel. Investing in apartments is completely different than buying your primary house, and it's a completely different audience. Now, those videos, I think each one of them capped out at about 1,500 views, and I was able to build my email list of possible investors for my next deal. Actually, that's how I funded several of the deals, because that was my call to action, which is if you'd like to know more about investing in apartments, make sure you submit your email. I'll let you know whenever the next deal pops up. So it served that purpose, but then I started to notice that my regular content, that was my bread and butter, started to take a hit on views. I started to attract the wrong type of audience into the channel. So after about 5 videos total, I realized maybe this is not a good idea. I should stop that. And this is probably a whole separate channel. But at the same time, I'm not going into apartment investing full time yet. And I didn't want to divert my attention either. So I decided to not post any more of those videos. I actually unlisted them as well. It served my purpose because I was able to raise capital for 4 different apartment projects, but now I'm just going to stick strictly to my residential retail real estate content on my channel, which attracts home buyers and sellers. And yes, we get the occasional investor in there as well, but I want to focus on my primary and ideal client. All right, and by the way, I'm hosting a free live 5-day challenge coming up very soon on Zoom. We'll walk you through everything that you need to know about YouTube in 5 days. The link is in my bio, or probably even in the description of this video, in the bio of the YouTube channel, by the way. But click on that, see when our upcoming date is for the next live challenge, where again, I'll stick with you for 5 days on Zoom, walk you through a lot of this stuff way more in depth. All right, number 6 is don't share your videos with your friends and family. They're not going to watch anyways, right? So they're not necessarily your ideal audience. Here's the cool thing about YouTube is that you can create a YouTube channel and nobody will know it exists until you become cool, right? So if you start posting on Instagram or Facebook, I mean, most likely your friends and family are going to see that. But you can go on YouTube, kind of go incognito, really work on attracting your ideal client. And your friends and family are not likely that. So, if you share your videos with them and say, hey, please subscribe, I mean, again, it's not your ideal audience. It could throw off the scent of YouTube as well. You really want YouTube to work on its own to find your ideal client. And so let that happen naturally. Now, if friends and family find out about your channel later and they subscribe, I mean, you can't stop them from doing that. And I never tell anybody, hey, please don't subscribe to my channel. Don't do that. Some people think that real estate agents should not subscribe to your channel, but we actually get referrals from real estate agents all over the country because they're subscribed to our channel. They love watching our videos. And then when they have people move to the Dallas area, they actually send them our channel and their clients watch that and they say, okay, cool, I would love to work with these people. So it makes it a very easy transition. All right, number 7 is the gear doesn't matter as much as the message. I mean, you really don't need any fancy equipment. Actually, I have a link in the description for our Amazon approved equipment list. And if you click on that link in the description for the Amazon approved equipment list, you're going to see this microphone set and this little tripod / selfie stick. This is less than $50. This is all you need. And I'm assuming you have an iPhone or an Android, which works just fine. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need to spend a ton of money, less than $50 plus your iPhone or Android, and you'll be well on your way. Trust me, the cameras on these phones are amazing now, so just go with that. And then whenever you have a bigger budget later, you can always upgrade if you want some of that fancy equipment. All right, number 8 is going to be consistency beats creativity. And I know everyone wants to create these really awesome, mind-blowing videos that go viral and kind of change the game. And look, I'm all about pushing those creative boundaries, but if I had to choose between being, creative and being consistent, I'm choosing consistency every single time. Staying consistent on a video every single week for a year will take you a lot further than just 10 perfect videos scattered out randomly throughout the year. And the YouTube algorithm really rewards consistency. It wants to know that it can count on you to keep showing up, and your audience does too. So when people subscribe to your channel, there's this kind of like this subconscious expectation that you're going to keep posting. And the reality is you get better by creating more videos. I mean, that's why I've always emphasized with people to at least come out with 2 videos per week. I mean, when I started, I did 3 videos a week for 2 years. The repetition alone is going to make you better at creating content. But if you try to create the perfect video from the start, it's never going to happen. And that brings us to number 9, which the algorithm isn't your enemy. And really, the word for algorithm is audience. But so many creators kind of treat the algorithm like it's a villain, right? The algorithm hates me. It's out to get me. It's not showing my videos. So it's like this really mysterious force that's trying to work against you. But that's not really what it's all about. I mean, it's actually the audience, and it's actually kind of like your business partner. So its entire job is to get the right video in front of the right person at the right time. And YouTube wants people to stay on the platform. So it's constantly trying to serve up content that people will actually watch and engage with. So, if you understand that, then everything changes. I mean, the algorithm isn't trying to suppress you. It's trying to figure out who your content is for and how to get it to those people. So your job is to really help do that by making videos that people actually want to watch with titles and thumbnails that make them want to click. All right, number 10 is that the click-through rate is the gatekeeper. So look, here's the hard truth. I mean, there's a lot of creators that don't want to hear this, but if nobody clicks on your video, you'll never get the view in the first place. So your click-through rate is everything. I mean, it is the percentage of people who see your video in their feed or search results and actually decide to click on it. So you could have the most valuable, life-changing content in the world, but if your thumbnail looks boring and your title doesn't grab the attention, then people are just going to scroll right past it. And that's just how the platform works. So I know some people think that focusing on titles and thumbnails is clickbaity or manipulative, but it's not. It's marketing, really. You're not lying. You're just packaging your message in a way that makes people curious enough to click. And once they click, your content has to deliver on that promise. And if you think about this, I mean, what happens when you open up Netflix? What do you see? You see nothing but thumbnails. What do you think billboards are? They're thumbnails. What do you think postcards are? They're thumbnails. And what are they all designed to do? They're all designed to grab your attention, to help you understand what product or service is being offered. All right, number 11 is that your ego is going to take a hit. You're going to put yourself out there on YouTube. You're going to get criticized. It just comes with the territory. You'll get comments that question your expertise. You'll get people who disagree with you on everything you say. You'll get random strangers who feel the need to tear down you for literally no reason. And some of it will be constructive, but you got to really determine like what's realistic and what's valuable. If that stuff gets you, you got to work past that. You got to let it go. So if you read a negative comment and that ruins your whole day, well, I don't know if being online is really for you. So take it all with a grain of salt. But the main thing is you got to learn how to filter out the noise, take the useful feedback, ignore the trolls, and really just kind of keep showing up, because the people who matter, the people who connect with you and your message, they far outweigh the activity, and it's definitely worth it. All right, number 12 is going to be growth can feel painfully slow sometimes, but until it explodes, right? I mean, so the early days of growing a YouTube channel they can be brutal. I mean, really, you're posting videos every week, maybe twice a week, and you're checking your subscriber count every single day. You go from 100 to 101 to 102, and then a week later you're at 115 maybe. It kind of feels like you're crawling sometimes. So there were months where I wondered sometimes if it was worth it, or did I hit a plateau, or was this the peak? Was I not going to get any better? So that progress can be slow in the beginning, but you have to just work. This is a massive compound effect that once you basically tip the boulder over the cliff, it'll be game over. So one thing you can definitely do in the beginning is make sure you stay on top of engagement, stay on top of those comments. I mean, it's something that I always emphasize is acknowledge and ask a question, and then acknowledge call to action. So whenever people actually leave a comment, acknowledge what they said, and then ask them a question in return. So that creates more dialogue. It creates more conversation. When they reply, there's usually an opening for a call to action. So acknowledge what they said again, and then do a call to action, which is like, hey, give me a call or shoot me a text, and we can talk about this, because you're probably not going to solve somebody's real estate problems in the comments. So it's best to just acknowledge a few things. Maybe you make a general statement or two, but then you say, hey, look, this would be really great offline to discuss, especially for your specific situation. Shoot me a quick text, and then put your phone number in the comment. And that type of engagement not only increases comments on your channel and on that video, but it just creates a dialogue. It lets other people know too that you're open and welcome and easy to talk to. All right, number 13 is going to be you don't really need millions of views, and so this is something that a lot of people are looking for, right? And especially as a business owner, you don't need to go viral. You don't need millions of views. You need the right types of views. And so we've been able to build a 7-figure business without ever hitting 1 million views on a single video. You just don't need it. You don't have to go viral. We need a few thousand of the right people. We need a few hundred of the right views. And the reality is like, if you did 100 transactions in a year, you're going to be in the top 1% of all real estate agents. So just think of quality over quantity every single time. I touched on this a little bit earlier, making the right type of content, not necessarily to go viral, but on topics and subjects that people are actually searching for and looking to solve problems, especially within your niche or your business. And for us in real estate, that's what it's about. And so that's what will get the phone ringing. All right, number 14 is that your voice and authenticity matter more than your editing. So, people don't subscribe to channels because of the, fancy transitions and the color grading. They subscribe because of the person that's behind the camera, your voice, your personality, your authenticity. And that's what really kind of builds that connection. So that's what makes people trust you. That's what turns really a casual viewer into a loyal follower and eventually a client. And I've seen channels with crazy production and they completely bomb out. They fail to grow because the person on the camera felt a little stiff or even fake. And I've seen channels with really super basic editing blow up because the creator was just real and relatable. So don't hide behind all the effects and the editing tricks. I mean, again, I for the first couple of years on my channel, I started with a iPhone and that simple selfie stick. And I didn't have a drone. I did driving footage. I actually would hold the phone and drive around the neighborhood, and that was like my drone footage. And I would use my phone for the B-roll and film certain things. So none of it was fancy at all. I did everything selfie style, holding the phone, and it worked just fine. All right, number 15 is most people quit right before they succeed. And Thomas Edison said that many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. So this is probably the saddest truth on the list. I mean, most creators give up right before things are about to take off. So they work on their channel for 6 months or even 9 months, maybe even a year. They don't see the growth or get exactly the same results that we got. And then they say, well, this is a waste of time. I'm just going to quit on it. I remember we had one guy, Andy, who didn't get a single phone call from his channel for 9 months, but he didn't quit. And after the first phone call came in, it was all a compound effect from there. And now he's doing millions of dollars in transactions every single year. And he would never, ever change anything about that. But, those struggling first 9 months were a challenge, and he thought about it, but he didn't quit. All right, number 16 is that your channel is a library, not necessarily a feed. So this is really one of the biggest differences between YouTube and the other platforms. And it's why really YouTube is so powerful for business. I mean, if you think about Instagram or even TikTok, your content really has a 24 to 48 hour lifespan that you post something and it's probably going to get all the views it's going to get within the first day or two. On top of that, nobody's going to go back and look at what you did a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I mean, try to go back and look what I did on Instagram a year ago. You know how much scrolling you have to go through, and you can't select by date or anything like that. So it makes it extremely difficult. But on YouTube, you can organize absolutely everything into playlists. You can sort by by date. You can actually search on the channel itself. You can search for specific keywords on somebody's channel. And on top of that, YouTube will recommend videos that could be 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 years old, even longer, if they think that video is relevant for the person that's on YouTube at that time. That's the great thing, is that your old content is not dead. So not only is it easily findable through search or sorting on the channel itself, or even through playlist, but YouTube still recommends our videos, even ones that are 4 or 5 years old. All right, number 17 is that YouTube is going to be the best salesperson you'll ever hire. And so if you think about this, really, I mean, YouTube works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and actually way more than that. It's a massive compound effect. But you know, they never call in sick. They don't take days off, no vacation. They don't need benefits or a salary. But while you're sleeping, basically you is on the channel selling for you. And that's really the great thing. I mean, if you've ever said, man, I wish there was just more of me, well, make a video. And then guess what? You'll have 2 of you. And if you make another video, you'll have 3 of you. And you make another video, you'll have 4 of you, and so on and so forth, right? So I've made over 500 videos alone just on the real estate channel. So that's like 500 sales Levi's out there selling the dream of living in Dallas, Texas. I mean, what more could you want? And guess what? I don't have to pay them a single penny. Not only can they work 24/7, no days off, but they can actually talk to 1,000, 10,000, or 20,000 people at one time as well. All right, number 18 is going to be that perfection kills momentum. And so I've seen this destroy many potential YouTube channels before they even get off the ground. Someone wants to start, but they get so caught up in making everything perfect that they never really actually publish anything. They rewrite scripts over, all the time. They refilm sections. They want to reshoot the same thing over and over again. They spend hours tweaking different things. I mean, they just go back and forth. Thumbnails, they can't make a decision. I mean, by the time they're done, they're exhausted, and then they don't even want to make another video ever again. So your first 10, 20, maybe even 50 videos are going to be rough. I mean, even Mr. Beast says make 100 videos before you can expect anything out of your channel. But that's how you learn, right? That's how you get better. The repetition, as I mentioned before, is really what gets you on a faster learning path. All right, number 19 is you're going to cringe at your videos regardless, right? You have to be cringe before people will binge. That's a saying on YouTube. So you basically got to suck before you get good. With my videos, I go back and I see some of those early videos, and the lighting's bad. The camera's a little blurry sometimes. Audio's out. I can't tell you how many times I recorded a video and the audio cut in and out. But I just getting better, it just kept improving, and always looked back and reviewed videos once they got edited by somebody else. And by the way, I've never edited a single video. I don't recommend that at all. I don't think it's the best use of your time. You should always hire that out. That's the point. It's like I go back, and even the editor I started with was, got better over time and improved. They didn't have the best editing skills, but it was enough for what I needed in the beginning. Plus, I had a smaller budget in the beginning, so it worked for me. I was just like, hey, as long as the information gets out there, that's the most important thing. All right, and last but not least, but I want you to know that the investment is worth it. So you have to look at it as an investment. And, anytime you invest in something, there's always going to be uncertainty that comes along with that. So there was definitely some moments where I questioned what I was doing, if it made sense, and, was it going to work? I mean, I had all those questions, but now 5 years later, man, completely life-changing. I wouldn't change a thing except maybe make more videos. And I couldn't imagine my life right now not making videos. Actually, I was sharing the other day with everyone that I was like, man, if I don't make a video, I kind of feel weird. I kind of feel like I need a shower. I'm like, I didn't make a video the last day or two. So it's just become a part of my weekly routine. It's just something that has returned so much to not only myself, but to the team and to the business, that it's irreplaceable. I think it's the number one thing that any business owner should be implementing in their business, which is video. But you think about it, I mean, what isn't hard and what doesn't take money up front? I mean, if you're trying to flip houses, guess what you got to do? You got to buy the house, right? And then you got to buy materials, and then you got to pay contractors. And that it's going to take you 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 months to remodel that home. But what are you betting on in that time frame? That you're going to be able to sell it for a significant profit. No matter what it is, you have to invest in your business. And, if you're concerned about investing in marketing, I think YouTube is by far the best thing that you can invest in. But everyone's timeline is different. The thing is you are working on an organic strategy. So what you see where someone may get significant returns within a month or 2 months or 3 months, maybe it takes you 4 or 5 months. The important thing is that you don't quit. And if you don't quit, you will see a return from YouTube. So is YouTube hard? Yeah, sure. A little bit. It gets easier, but is it worth it? Absolutely. And it helped us grow the business in ways I couldn't imagine. So if you're serious about growing your business too, like I mentioned, we're hosting a live challenge coming up. So that link is in the description or in the bio of the YouTube channel. You can click on that and we will be going live on Zoom for 5 days. All right. Just a couple of hours a day. We'll be walking you through everything that you need to know about YouTube and how to get started. No matter what business you're in, of course, we're in the real estate business. And so we will feature a lot of information around that. But whatever business you're in, you're going to find value in this. And if you want to continue on your journey about learning about YouTube, check out this video as well, because it'll help you out.